Pretty much every Minecraft video used to be you log on and you press record. But that was a long time ago. Content has gotten more edited, more creative, better, and recently, it's gotten scripted. Now obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but there's also been an equal rise in dishonestly faked videos. So let's explore both. What happened? Well, there's no better example of this than Minecraft SMP videos. The first SMP was created by this YouTuber called Good Boulder Fist, who was very tired of just playing by himself. Lucky for him, survival multiplayer was just released, so Good got some of his friends together and decided to launch the very first YouTuber SMP. It was called Mindcrack, which sounds like a narcotic drug, but the server was entirely unscripted, just the quintessential log on and press record. It seems like it might still exist. I just don't think anyone watches it.
You may not even know I've been divorced for 4 years. Who knows? But I'm a very single man, so I have joint custody of my daughter. But during COVID, my joint custody has changed.
And that's because many of the members went on to create another, much more popular server after Minecraft changed their rules. It was mostly the same thing, just a group of friends playing together and recording it. And this server was Hermitcraft. As time's gone on, there's obviously been more planning going into certain episodes, but everything you see is still real. This is how the SMP space remained for years. Get your popular friends, press record, and subsequently be able to afford a small private army. But all this was about to change, with the creation of a brand new server that would break any previous record of popularity, and the only secret to its success was scripting. If you hadn't guessed, yep, I was talking about the Dream SMP. Dream's Minecraft Manhunt videos absolutely blew up, with the series as a whole having over 1.4 billion views. During his meteoric rise, he quietly set up a survival server for him and his friends to chill on. But over the next few weeks, a nagging little I didn't mean that, was begging to join. Once Tommy was allowed in, he was immediately banned for griefing. Because of your gender! But instead of keeping him banned, Dream wanted to see what would happen. This is what transformed the server into what we now know as the Dream SMP. Once Tommy was allowed back in, he started conflicts that developed into multi-month storylines, and the server's popularity skyrocketed as a result. Tons of huge creators were added over the next few months, like Technoblade, Quackity, J-Shot. But as the server went on, the fandom started really latching onto these different arcs and interactions between the members. The members then responded by starting to script some of these interactions to be more dramatic, and the fans ate it up.
You know I'm afraid of lava.
This level of scripting is what ultimately brought the Dream SMP most of its success. At first, though, they wouldn't admit it.
So you're telling me this just naturally happened?
I'm in creative mode.
This dude will do anything but answer my questions. Oh my.
My fans are just like sweet little kittens.
But scripting had one major downside. It made it really boring for a lot of the members.
The streams got planned out to a now stressful degree of detail, and it was just a lot. It was getting too much.
As a result, many of them didn't bother logging on, and this was made much worse when Technoblade, who was at the forefront of the plot, passed away. This led to many of the members falling out, and ultimately the end of the server. And yeah, my other video where I said it was because of sexism or something was wrong, I'll admit it. But as the Dream SMP declined, there was a growing gap for a new server to come and take its place. And this server would be the Lifesteal SMP, which my friend Barry will cover. I could make up some shit like, oh, he's uniquely qualified because he made a video about lifesteal copies, but really, he just genuinely deserves the shout out.
It began with two YouTubers, Maypic and JPEX, who had the plan of making a hardcore server and inviting some of their friends to come and play. However, they would soon ditch this original plan when they invited their friend Parrot, who had an idea that would change everything.
Basically have hearts, and hearts are like the server's currency. If you die to someone else, they gain a heart, you lose a heart, and I was like, alright, if you want this to succeed, I have an idea.
Players were now more cautious of dying since it had a big drawback of losing a heart, but were now more competitive to kill other players so they can try to gain a heart. Because of this great idea, it was after Season 1 where Maypic and JPEX agreed to just let Parrot run the server from now on. And so in Season 2 is where things really began to take off. The Lifesteal SMP grew in size when they added a bunch of new creators to help create even more content. This was really good, not just because of all the videos they got out as a collective, but because they started to capture the remains of the Dream SMP audience.
Barry and I both had this exact same video idea, and he generously offered to let me have it. His videos are really similar to mine, so check them out, you'll enjoy it. Seeing the success of Lifesteal, many other YouTubers wanted a piece for themselves. And by now, SMP content was much less about the members and more about the cool, clickable, thumbnail-optimized thing the members were doing. So because of this, pretty much anyone could get views by just copying what Lifesteal does. Safe to say people did that, and it worked for a while. Until eventually, the YouTubers realized they didn't even need to try. They could just fake it. Faking videos was so much faster and easier, and also enabled them to write much better stories than you could get by just recording naturally. Oftentimes, these videos could even get more views than Lifesteal themselves. I was trying to get into SMP content around this time, and dude, I was hard pressed to find a single server that wasn't completely scripted. Seeing all these YouTubers having such success with scripted videos, Lifesteal members began wondering, what the fuck are we doing? And started making some themselves. Parrot made one fake video, but he said he hated it and went back to authentic stuff right after. Spoke, on the other hand, didn't give a shit and made like 20, but eventually, all these scripted videos just sort of stopped. Looking back, I think it's because most of the money-driven hustle grinders making them realized kids content was even more profitable, so they just switched to that. Good to know that youth are watching upstanding creators with morals and integrity, but anyway. The scripted YouTubers who didn't get into straight-up kids content began to transition back into more genuine stuff on actual SMPs. Literally just because scripted is so fucking boring to make. And that's actually where I come in. I used to make videos on the Bliss SMP, but once unscripted servers like Bliss gained notoriety, tons of smaller SMPs popped up trying to replicate it. The SMP space became very fragmented, and the audience was much less focused on just lifesteal like in the past. Also around this time, it was getting really hard to come up with a single video idea that hadn't already been done. Even the lifesteal members, who had been doing this content the longest and were the best at it, just weren't getting the same views they used to. So eventually, Parrot decided enough was enough. He and another member, Wembu, known for his biblically accurate Minecraft thumbnails, had an idea.
What if we made scripted Minecraft videos, and instead of lying about it, we could just be upfront and tell people to enjoy the story?
What if we made out?
After they crafted this genius new infallible concept, Parrot put out his first scripted video. And it kind of flopped. It was his worst performing video in months. From the comments, a lot of the audience seemed like they weren't really sure what to make of it either. Like, when's the last time you've seen a YouTuber have to put a comment like this? But Parrot wasn't gonna give up yet, because he had one more trick up his sleeve. The way YouTube's algorithm works right now, it incentivizes making really stretched out videos to keep you on the platform as long as possible. And as long as you can keep your audience just barely interested throughout, that's usually all it takes. Personally, you know, I'd rather be more concise and to the point, but both approaches are valid, I guess. Parrot's next video was over 3 hours. What the fuck? Most of it was consequently a lot less heavily edited than his older stuff. I mean, there's long stretches of basically uncut gameplay. And Parrot was really the one who popularized the style of like more fast-paced cutting between events. Because of this, there was a pretty significant risk his audience just wouldn't like it. But somehow, against the odds, it worked. Parrot and Wembu pumped these videos out over the next few months, each time getting just unfathomably many views. This is by far the most popular SMP content right now. Like, they're making most people's yearly salary with each damn video. Naturally, some smaller creators have tried to replicate it, but so far, none of them have had the same level of success. Although, I think it's very possible someone else will eventually crack it, and last time I made a prediction like that, I was right. But all this leaves one glaring issue. How are these any fun to make? Every other time scripted SMPs came around, people got burnt out very quickly. So if Parrot and Wembu are going to keep this up, they must somehow be actually enjoying it. If I had to take a guess, I'd say it's probably through writing the best possible story they can. Sort of like, you know, why a screenwriter would enjoy writing a movie. But scripted videos aren't limited to just SMP content. This is a massive trend across the entire Minecraft space. For the past month, this YouTuber has been running an experiment on the entire internet. Wifies' last soon-to-be 2 videos where he solves a huge ARG are completely fake. And not just, oh, the story is scripted. He scripted it himself and analyzed his own ARG. For other YouTubers, this has caused massive controversies, but for Wifies, literally no one cared. In fact, it's his best performing content ever. And that's because the entire thing was calculated from start to finish. So, ladies and gentlemen, after an exhaustive interview with the man himself, this is how one YouTuber outsmarted the entire internet. To understand how he pulled this off, you need to realize something. This wasn't his first experiment. As a matter of fact, Wifies isn't even his first channel. It's his 20th. This man has been experimenting on YouTube since the age of 10. And it all started after watching a popular MMOs video. He was instantly inspired to do something similar. So he begged his parents to buy the game. Not Minecraft, Survival Craft, a paid knockoff of Minecraft. But that didn't matter to young Wifies. He just saw that it had sharks and was sold on it. He then proceeded to LARP to his Kindle Fire as if he was recording a popular MMOs video. But, as goofy as it sounds, that was the moment he really discovered his passion for storytelling. Years earlier, he'd regularly give presentations about dinosaurs to his grandparents. He just found something about storytelling to be so intrinsically rewarding, and that's what YouTube is all about. So, 2 years later, when he finally learned what recording software was, he locked in.
Hey guys!
Yeah, it wasn't much, but to be fair, 2 years later when he was 10 meant that he was 12. So, that channel obviously didn't go anywhere. But Wifies didn't really know why. So, he just started a different channel. This time about Clash Royale, then another one about Diepio. If they didn't pop off in a month, he'd scrap it and make an entirely new channel about something else because that's all that he knew how to do. Although not before subscribing to each new channel with all the old ones. And each time he abandoned one, it stung a little of defeat. This single player sub for sub continued until he made Red Sheep MLG, a pink sheep clone. It actually managed to reach 100 subscribers.
What's up, prankster gangsters?
I'm guessing it's because you couldn't tell from the text-to-speech voice that he was a prepubescent child, but he thought, maybe he could get more subscribers, maybe he could be famous! Then, he saw it.
I have helped many ordinary people turn their hobbies and interests into a career on YouTube.
Mom, this is how I become famous! My brother in Christ, it costs $1,000.
So because his bitch-ass mom wouldn't buy him in $1,000 scam, he was gonna have to take matters into his own hands. For a moment, he'd actually let himself believe a little shortcut like this might work. Fast forward to 2017 when he was 14 and he realized something. Giving up on channels after a month clearly didn't work. So based on this multi-year quasi-experiment, he adapted. He started another channel, but this time was different. No matter how many videos it took, this channel would be with him for life. To pick the name, he went on NameMC. There's a section on the website where you can see upcoming OG Minecraft usernames, and one of these was Wifey, a singular wifey without the S. He needed this username because it sounded like Wi-Fi, and technology is freaking awesome and sick. Yeah, that's also my first thought when I hear the name Wifey. The name would become available at midnight when he was at his friend's Jewish coming-of-age ceremony. But it didn't matter. He waited anxiously to manually snipe the name late into the night, staring at the clock and spamming the button. And the bots beat him to it. He was crushed, but he just added an S on the end and called it a day. Now's probably a good time to mention that I'm well aware Wifies has tried to psyop everyone into thinking it's pronounced Wifies, but I'm gonna call him Wifies. You can suck my— So, after creating the channel, he began experimenting once again. At the time, Wifies was a big mumbo-jumbo fan, and he wanted to be smart too. So he posted Redstone videos of his own. That didn't work. So he switched to Skywars commentaries because he was also a big fan of Technoblade. That also didn't work. Until he found something that did. Hermitcraft fan compilations, which gave him some serious momentum. Eventually, he reached 3,000 subscribers about 2 years into the channel. And to celebrate, he posted an Amazon Echo beam about Grian.
Is it for me?
It's for everyone. It's called Amazon Echo.
Grian. And this was the video that changed everything. This video got hundreds of thousands of views. It felt impossible, like he just stepped into someone else's career. Then, because that did so well, he had to do a 5K special right after. Same thing, this time about Mumbo Jumbo. This video also blew up. Even Mumbo Jumbo himself commented.
I was at an old car show with my family because my dad's really into old cars, and I just could not put down my phone. These were views that some people on Hermitcraft were pulling, and for the first time ever, I'm getting the feeling that, like, wait, this could actually go somewhere.
He continued the Amazon Echo parodies and Hermitcraft content, since these were what got the most views. But Wifies knew his success couldn't last. The format was inherently based on other people. There was literally just no reason to watch his videos over any other fan account. So, he experimented with a new format. It was around the time Dream was blowing up with Minecraft Manhunt, so Wifies just copied him. But this actually somewhat worked. He was genuinely the first person to do it other than Dream, but also Dream was still on 300s and Wifies just jumped straight to 6. So obviously people are interested. I mean, he got absolutely pummeled and spent the whole video running away, but still, this was getting views. And then Dream followed him on Twitter and invited him to a duel. This was gonna actually end up on Dream's channel, and you could tell how nervous he is in the clip.
The stress.
He obviously lost, but having his inspiration acknowledge him and even feature him in a video was incredible. So that's great and all. He got to be featured by his idol, but now Wifey's channel is an amalgamation of Hermitcraft fan content and knockoff Dream manhunts. These formats both worked, but he didn't even like them. So he decided to experiment again. A good friend of his, Zyphon, had been making these mini documentaries, and Wifey's decided to make some of his own. He actually really liked making them, but compared to everything else, they weren't getting very many views. This also left him with basically 3 different audiences on one channel: Hermitcraft, Manhunt, and now this new audience for video essays. And the Hermitcraft videos especially weren't doing anything for him in the long term. No one was watching them for him, so not knowing what else to do, he quit them cold turkey. He kept posting manhunts and documentaries, experimenting with each upload. Most of these flopped, but some of them didn't. For example, he was a huge fan of Vsauce, so he thought he'd try to do a Vsauce-style video essay in Minecraft. At first glance, these two things really do not seem to go together, but Wifies tried it anyway. It was a huge experiment, and this video popped off. To him, the most rewarding part of YouTube is having crazy ideas like this and having them actually work. The Vsauce experiment also put him in a really good place. Literally no one else was doing it. But more importantly, he was a huge nerd, so making videos on weird Minecraft quirks felt like an endless ocean of content ahead of him, just waiting to be tapped into. This ended up being his ticket to escape Manhunt once and for all. So he kept going, and each time the Vsauce videos did better than the last. Around this time, he met another YouTuber through Zyphon named Sipover. The 3 of them all had around 30k and made similar video essay-ish type content, so they naturally got along. They'd have friendly rivalries about who'd hit 100k first or whatever. And Wifies genuinely felt frustrated when Sipover had bangers, but in a good way. It motivated him to work harder. This little friend group eventually evolved into a Discord server called The Parlor with some other YouTuber friends, all at a similar size and age, including these people you may recognize. Having this dedicated group of people motivated Wifies to grind harder every single day. And he was always keeping a lookout for other videos he could experiment with by adapting them into Minecraft. So one day, he struck gold.
An email appears in the inbox of a few users. Upon opening, there's an attachment. It has a generic name like document.txt or readme.doc, and to the mind of an unsuspecting 2004 human, it looks legit. Right now, the virus also known as My Doom is now copying itself to the Windows system folder.
Immediately after seeing this, Wifey's neurons were firing. He connected it to a story he'd heard in a FitMC video recently. A 2B2T hack client had a huge scandal where they were secretly logging people's credit card information. Wifey's knew he could go more in depth than Fit's video, and with that, Minecraft's deadliest illegal hacked client was born. Little did he know, this experiment would be the biggest mistake of his career. His videos up until this point were generally pretty hypothetical, and this one was much more factual. He sourced the info from FitMC's video, plus a few little interviews with people involved, so a decent level of research, but nothing exhaustive by any means. The problem is, this led to him misrepresenting a few of the little 2B2T goons he talked about, and then all hell broke loose. They raided his Discord server with an army of slur-spamming bots. No, I'm not joking. Which was already terrifying enough. But more importantly than that, they filed a copyright strike on his video, which meant YouTube instantly took it down and punished him in the algorithm for like a month. They were technically able to do this because he used a few seconds of a video one of them posted. And Wifies was especially crushed because the video was doing really well. He knew it was fair use, and he could easily win an appeal. But the only way to appeal a copyright strike is by typing your full legal name and address, which is then sent to the person who struck you. This is so they can sue you if they want, but in this case, all it would do is give this dangerous group of people, who are likely no strangers to doxing, the address of the YouTuber they hate most. This was genuinely the most terrified he'd been in his life. He wasn't thinking about views anymore, he was imagining strangers showing up to his house. In an act of desperation, he reached out to FitMC for advice, who promptly ghosted him.
Which, valid, I jacked his video.
And as a last resort, he asked his uncle for a huge favor.
Can I give your address to a toxic group of hackers?
I could take them.
So, he put his uncle's information in the appeal. The video went back up, and luckily, that was the end of that. He continued with Minecraft Vsauce videos, but with the newfound understanding that if you talk about something concrete, you better be right about it. Over time though, he was running out of Vsauce topics. There's only so many little Minecraft quirks you can squeeze entire videos out of. So, it was time for another experiment. YouTube has a feature that shows you channels your audience watches. For Wifies, number 1 was Skip the Tutorial, and number 5 was Game Theory. So he checked out Skip the Tutorial's channel and thought it looked super doable. It was just Minecraft fact videos. How hard could that be? He also thought it'd go really well with his existing content, and it turned out he was right. It popped the fuck off. Until recently, this was actually his most popular video ever, only being surpassed by those scripted ARGs. Don't worry, I didn't forget. He felt like such a genius for tapping into the channels your audience watches meta. So much so that he used the same method with game theory, and he made Minecraft lore videos, which did pretty well too. So now he had 3 different pretty reliable formats: facts, lore, and still these occasional Minecraft Vsauce videos when he had an idea. One of these Vsauce videos he was working on was called "What's the hardest thing to do in Minecraft?" Ultimately, Wifies concluded that the answer is an escape room, where you have to use these super niche mechanics to escape a bedrock box. At the end of the video, he had a segment where he made his friend play an escape room to demonstrate.
Can I use this trap to... Dude, this should just be its own video.
Wait, you're totally right.
After the recording, Wifies considered it more seriously. Another YouTuber named Seawat has been blowing up with these escape room videos, so it was proven. Plus, how do you combine fact videos with storytelling like from his lore videos? Escape rooms. I mean, it was a perfect fit. But this was also a huge risk. It had literally been years since he made anything resembling a gameplay video. Still, he chopped off the first 7 minutes of the video he was working on and refocused it on just the escape room segment. And he was proven right again. He was thrilled about this, especially since he loved escape rooms both in Minecraft and real life. Wifies continued with these videos, and one day he reached out to another YouTuber named Parrot to be in a recording. Little did he know this would change the trajectory of his career. Parrot was an SMP YouTuber, at the time especially focused on the lifesteal SMP. Wifies made documentaries and escape rooms. Theoretically, these people shouldn't have much in common, but they instantly hit it off. The truth is, both of them worried about the same thing.
Can I still be a successful YouTuber in 10 years?
What if I lose my touch?
As much as Wifies loved YouTube experimentation, he didn't want to bet his future on it. And for the first time, he met someone who understood that feeling on a deep level. Naturally, this led both of them to the same place: college applications. Parrot was the only person Wifies knew who had a really successful channel and at the same time was fully committed to college. So, as Wifies continued making these escape room videos, he and Parrot bonded over college applications. To Wifies, college was really only worth it if he was at like a tippy-top school.
Like, my ego wouldn't want me to go to some like decent school and have no time for YouTube. Like, I wasn't gonna.
And one college in particular stood out above the rest: Harvard. Partly because it's Harvard, but also because there's a girl he liked who was applying, so he really wanted to get in.
Unless you're really like #1 Olympiad winner in chemistry or something, getting good grades and getting good test scores is the floor for consideration. And you need some sort of spike or texture to get you further and like actually in.
So he managed to turn his YouTube channel into a cohesive story about his life path, and it worked. He got into Harvard. Not only that, but this guy has the most elite unspoken nerd riz because he pulled that girl and they ended up dating for like a year and a half. Besides that though, college was a lot harder than he expected. The first semester was especially rough. He had no time to make content, and he was a huge introvert in a brand new place surrounded by thousands of strangers. All this weighed on him, and he was starting to feel depression creeping in. For a while, the confident person he was on YouTube felt like a stranger that he used to know. But eventually, he had a realization.
You know what? What am I doing? I can't just stop making videos. This isn't me.
From this point on, he did his best to balance college and YouTube. And things got a lot better. His grades must have suffered a little bit, but his mental health thanked him. Meanwhile on his channel though, it had been quite a while since he experimented with anything. He was just making escape rooms over and over, and the format was getting stale. So he went back to what made him love YouTube in the first place: an experiment. He looked to his favorite channels for inspiration. And one of these channels caught his attention: Lamino. Lamino's videos are essentially long documentaries solving a mystery. So Wifies racked his brain for any way to possibly adapt this to Minecraft, and eventually decided that the only way is solving an ARG. At the time, there was literally one person doing Minecraft ARG videos: Retro Gaming Now. But when he did them, they did really well, so that gave Wifies a bit more confidence. It's also a pretty natural progression from his other content. It's like a puzzle-solving story. But as with anything new, it was still a risk. A risk that got 5 million views! It did way better than he could have expected, which meant it easily could become a new format on his channel, and it'd be stupid not to make more. Plus, they were fun. He got to solve a really cool mystery through the lens of Minecraft. The format was such a runaway success that it sparked a massive trend of other channels doing similar ARG videos. He truly struck gold. But another thing he realized about ARG videos was that the storytelling potential was virtually limitless.
Don't be fooled, it's listening.
You can't outsmart it. It's listening to me. It's watching me.
On that note, let me redirect your attention to Parrot. Parrot was about to do a massive experiment of his own. His entire career was spent recording unscripted gameplay on Minecraft SMPs and trying to retroactively fit that into a story. But he had a hypothesis. He thought that the story itself is what people really cared about. So much so that they wouldn't care if it was scripted or not, as long as he was honest. So he decided to take a huge risk, scripting an entire 40-minute SMP video and uploading it to his channel as part of a new scripted SMP called Unstable Universe. And in the description, he was transparent and said that it was scripted. Unfortunately for Parrot though, this experiment totally flopped. But Parrot was so confident in his hypothesis that he still thought it had potential. So he went back to the drawing board and came back with this. A 3-hour movie with the acting and script itself massively leveled up. And for the second episode, he asked Wifies to record with him. The two of them would be co-stars. The recording itself took 9 hours, but it's much more fun when you have a friend with you. Not only that, but Parrot realized it was essential for just making a great video to begin with, because now you have this character dynamic to work with. The second episode absolutely popped off. Wifies and Parrot then went on to have an ungodly amount of lore, which I will not spoil, but I'm telling you this for a reason. This made Wifies intimately familiar with how scripted videos work, and it gave him an idea. What if, instead of finding and solving a random ARG, the ARG analysis was scripted? How good of a story could you make then?
Because in my mind, if you take out the puzzles, would it still, like, is that what makes the video entertaining? My guess is I don't think so. And honestly, I feel like you can take out the horror as well. And then once you do, you're literally just left with a format where you can, like, call upon supernatural entities. Like, you have literally no bounds in your storytelling.
And real quick, I make Minecraft documentaries once or twice a month, and if you subscribe, YouTube will actually recommend me to you again. Otherwise, it's very possible you'll never see me in your entire life. Anyway, for this experiment, Wifies wasn't nearly as sure. Isn't it kind of the point that you discover and solve a random ARG? Scripting that sort of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? But in the back of his mind, he couldn't help but think the same thing Parrot was, that the only reason people truly watch these videos is for the story. He even made a community post trying to collect more insight.
Which is the least important to you in an ARG video? The story/mystery, the puzzle/codes, or the scariness/horror?
Overwhelmingly, people thought the story was the most important part. So, that settled it. He would figure this out once and for all by testing it himself and scripting an entire ARG. But this wouldn't be any old ARG. It needed to be better than anything that came before it. There was a big trope where the protagonist is stupid and has no survival instinct, so Wifies flipped that on its head. He made the protagonist a Machiavellian genius, and instead of some shadowy black entity hiding in the corners, which was another trope, he wanted to make an entire ARG where you couldn't even see what was following you. The audience's imagination had to do the work. Wifies also made the conscious decision to really treat it like a movie. Something he really liked in Ish's Civilization video is that there was music with lyrics.
Music with lyrics is so much aura.
So Wifies did the same. He also experimented with straight up silence in the most intense parts of the story. And just like Unstable Universe, he put a tiny note in the description saying it was scripted. Because of this, or any combination of factors, when he posted the video, it did better than anyone could have possibly imagined.
There has been this YouTube video I simply can't stop thinking about.
A lot of people are considering this the greatest Minecraft video to come out this year, in a year that, again, very competitive.
Why is the best adaptation of The King in Yellow a Minecraft ARG? If you've been around the internet...
The video traveled by word of mouth. It felt like you had to see it because everyone's talking about it. But it didn't just get a ton of views. The audience was much more invested than anything he'd seen before. Overnight, there was a massive community of people theorizing about what it could mean, because unlike his previous unscripted ARGs, this one was a story with actual characters. Jimmy Mr. Beast even DM'd him saying it was a banger video, and Wifies couldn't be happier. After this huge success, he couldn't help but feel honored. This story he'd created entirely from nothing for the first time in the history of his channel was doing better than any of the times he'd made videos about other people.
Like, it's nuts. Like, I genuinely am so thankful that people like this world that I've created, and it's so, like, validating. And Parrot said this too. Like, he was worried that people wouldn't like his videos when he said they were scripted.
For the first time, he wasn't borrowing an audience. This was him, and people loved it. Wifey's proudest moments are when a crazy YouTube theory turns out to be right. Nothing is more rewarding than working really hard on a massive risk, and just like his newest video, it pays off more than you ever thought was possible. Who would have thought scripted ARGs even made a modicum of sense? The fact that Minecraft videos like this, like Ish's video, like Parkour Civilization, keep repeatedly blowing up across the internet, to me, is a sign of Minecraft's wider resurgence. Minecraft YouTubers are virtually unmatched across the entire YouTube platform, because the space is just so competitive that the content produced is genuinely the best, and I don't think I'm biased in saying that. It seems like the wider internet is finally realizing that. Also, scripted content is massively untapped on YouTube as a whole, and the fact that it's blowing up on such a massive scale on Minecraft, which is usually at the forefront of trends, should be a sign of where the YouTube platform is headed. But not all scripted content is honest about it, and there's no better example of this than Minecraft hardcore videos. Hardcore mode was added in 2011. The community formed slowly at first, with most players trying out a hardcore world once and never touching it again. A couple YouTubers experimented with videos on it, but it never really got that far. But there was one man who saw it as something different, a challenge. He wanted to see just how long he could last in hardcore survival Minecraft, and this man's name was Filza. His first attempt in 2012 was, all things considered, really good. It lasted 2 years, all the way up until...
I lost my hardcore world. You may be wondering how I died, but I'm actually alive and rather healthy. The real reason I lost my hardcore world is because my hard drive broke. I know. Wait, did it catch fire?
Not to be discouraged, he created a new hardcore world, and this time it would make history. It lasted 5 entire years, setting the world record for the longest hardcore playthrough at the time. During that period, he built some of the craziest things ever constructed in survival Minecraft. Until one day...
I knew it. No!
Filza's death went absolutely viral. It made it into a PewDiePie video and it even got on the f***ing news. But this whole situation could have been avoided if Filza just updated his world. When he began his second series in 2014, there were no totems of undying, but by the time it ended, they'd been in the game for years. And Filza did purposely avoid totems because he thought they were unfair, but point stands. Hardcore mode went from 1 life to basically infinite, meaning the goal changed from surviving the night to how can I figure out stuff to do so I don't get bored. There's also another major update to hardcore, this time being the Outer End Islands. After they were added, the Ender Dragon fight went from something symbolic to a crucial step towards getting an elytra. This meant if, say, some other Minecraft YouTuber wanted to start a hardcore series, it could hypothetically last a lot longer. And with Filza's death getting a lot of views, let's just say a lot of people were looking to do that. Hardcore Minecraft videos as a trend absolutely exploded. Tons of huge YouTubers coincidentally started their own hardcore series, but what's more interesting to me is one man who created something genuinely unique, a style of content that would shake the YouTube landscape for years to come. This man was Luke the Notable. Luke began his channel with Fortnite videos in 2018. Well, actually, he made Halo videos before that, but most people know him for Fortnite. He was 23 back then, so now he's like old. He's got a wife and shit. A lot of his videos were summarizing what happened after 100 games of Fortnite, which may potentially sound a little bit familiar. But eventually, Fortnite was falling out of favor with the youth, and he wanted to make something new.
What's going on, Minecraft fans? My name's Luke the Notable, and in this video, I'll be surviving 100 days in Minecraft hardcore mode.
That's right, he did a complete pivot to Minecraft videos. I don't know either, but it worked! This video got 50 million views. I am foaming at the mouth right now. And I'm not the only one, because other YouTubers were quick to jump on the trend.
Copying? Sorry, I can't hear over my large subscriber count.
Now, Luke the Notable wasn't, strictly speaking, happy about this, but there are people who brought interesting twists to the genre, like Forge Labs with modded 100 days, or Rye Guy Rocky with scripted 100 days for small children.
I've got to watch out for these 3 IRS agents!
To be fair to the guy, it's working. But fake videos like these are more common than you think. Case in point, Rasplin.
It's nether time. Now, while I'm here... Oh, I spawned on another fortress.
Why did he spawn so far from the portal? This guy's videos are irrationally funny to me. Okay, so at the start he says this.
I'm doing this in hardcore mode, meaning if I die, I lose all my progress and the challenge.
But then later on, this mysteriously happens.
Yo, this... Okay, please, bro, please.
Now let me play that back a little bit slower. You can call it lag if you want, but he literally hearted a comment saying it's fake. He either used this texture pack to pretend to be in hardcore mode when he's actually not, or he backed up his world and just reverted it to before he died. What a sneaky little guy. The increasing amount of fake content led to more and more people wanting something genuine, and that was recognized by a YouTuber who goes by the name of Sandiction.
I hate being homeless. Wait, I wonder what it's like to have a house.
Sandiction's goal was to appeal to a little bit older of an audience who wanted something a lot more genuine. He uploaded his first hardcore video on June 6, 2021. It was short, bit boring of a concept, but despite all of that, it currently sits at 3.8 million views. In the first month, it only got 41,000, so where did all these other views come from? Well... holy shit. Later on in his series, he realized to get really big views, he had to focus every video on one huge project that no one has ever done before. This new style pulled in an average of 15 million views, and some of those viewers naturally went back to watch the series from the start. So there's your answer. That's why the first episode has 3.8 million views. The strategy was working great for him until one day...
Oh my god.
He had died. His immensely popular series was over. There's a note my researcher left saying, "I remember when this happened, I called my mom." Just thought that was a little bit funny. But that left Sandiction in a sticky situation.
Sandiction, why don't you just cheat?
Because that goes against the entire reason I created this series in the first place. Now shut the f***.
So as a result, whatever he may be planning, he hasn't uploaded any videos since. After his massive series ended, there was room for other YouTubers to pick up where he left off, to create videos with a single-minded focus on one specific project. And a prime example of that is Carbs. He used to make dubiously watchable scripted SMP videos, but now he's one of the largest hardcore YouTubers on the platform. He averages about 8 million views, and I was actually almost his editor, which is kinda cool. One interesting distinction with his content is that he avoids saying it's hardcore mode in the title.
Come watch my hardcore Minecraft video.
You?
Would you watch it if it just said Minecraft instead of hardcore?
Yes.
Okay, my point is that he appeals to a wider audience, alright? Got it? I can go on about hardcore YouTubers all day, but the real question is, what's next? Well, I interviewed one of the largest hardcore YouTubers on the platform to find out, SB737.
There's not really any other YouTuber I know that kind of just pumped out weekly 100 days videos for 2.5 years.
So I asked him if he thinks hardcore Minecraft is on the decline.
I think 100 days is declining. I think Minecraft over the past 12 months has declined.
There's obviously many reasons for this, but the biggest one is probably this.
Kind of like the whole thing of you just got to kind of one up the next thing. Eventually you are going to run out of ways to do it, if you know what I mean. I do think it's got a shelf life.
That means it's also getting much harder for newer people to jump in and compete. It's just so saturated. Personally though, I'm optimistic. I think Minecraft hardcore probably is declining, but it'll always come back with a new cycle of YouTubers blowing up and getting millions of views. Alright, please subscribe. I spend a lot of time on this. I make videos documenting the community of the most important game ever made, Minecraft. And if you subscribe, YouTube will actually recommend me again. Otherwise, it's very possible you'll never see me in your entire life. Now, I realize so far I've only talked about one YouTuber who's cheated. So here's 10 more. And stick around, because there's probably a couple of these you haven't heard of. But let's start with this little YouTuber who did speedruns with his friends during COVID. Let me set the scene. Dream was streaming some speedruns on Twitch for fun, but another speedrunner named Minecravenger thought his drop chances were weirdly high. So he collected data from across all of Dream's speedrunning streams and found that the drop chances were, in fact, weirdly high. Then he tweeted his findings. He only spotted this because he was later found to be cheating in the exact same way, but anyway, this prompted speedrun.com to launch an investigation.
Even giving Dream the benefit of the doubt as much as possible, as moderators, there's no real option other than to deem these runs as illegitimate.
Using binomial distributions, they determined that the odds were
1 in 7 trillion. Which, as you may notice, is still a ridiculously large number.
Dream initially denied it for months, even going as far to hire this random professor to defend him. He repeatedly claimed his game was not modified, and the math was in fact wrong.
Clearly just trying to pad together enough maths that a surface reading of it gives a reasonable amount of doubt that maybe Dream genuinely got those results from a normal version of Minecraft. Not only that, but it's missing a closing bracket.
But several months later, after most people had kind of moved on, Dream posted a paste bin saying he did it.
I ended up finding that I had actually been using a disallowed modification.
Now, obviously it's still his fault, but generally he seems to have learned from it. The same can't be said for another much funnier speedrun cheater. Floby was in a call with a speedrun moderator named Crystal when she left to make toast. While she was gone, he found a really good seed, but he made a tiny little mistake that ruined his run, where he should have opened a chest that he didn't. When Crystal got back, Floby decided to brag about the seed that he found, so naturally she asked if he'd submit it to the leaderboards. Floby said yes, despite knowing full well he did not have a full run of this seed. So he just ran it again. This was insane because the entire point is he's doing the random seed category, where you don't know anything about the seed before you play it. But he submitted it anyway. This run instantly drew a lot of suspicion, especially because it would have been pretty high on the leaderboards.
From this point, where Floby is making the decision of which direction to go, you can't see any more fortress in that direction. But for some reason, Floby ignores the left and goes forward, where once he's a bit further, he sees a blaze spawner. This is suspicious, but not incriminating.
But Floby denied faking it. Then, the mod team reviewed his logs, which proved he'd played the same seed multiple times. Floby eventually apologized, and here's the insane part, said it's because he had a crush on Crystal and just didn't want to be embarrassed by messing up his Minecraft speedrun. Meanwhile, she had a girlfriend! To be honest, this guy's not even really a YouTuber, but it was so funny I had to include it anyway. You almost feel bad for him, but apparently they actually made up that story about being embarrassed. All to cover for dozens of other faked runs. Genuinely hope he's grown since then. But YouTubers have cheated in more ways than just speedrunning. Dolly is/was a pretty big PvP YouTuber in his time. He was arguably the #1 axe player in the world, and he's buddies with a bunch of famous YouTubers too. At least until...
Huh? What the? Dude, the admin's back.
Now, what? This stream took place on a server called MCPVP. The anti-cheat plugin, Vulcan by the way, GOAT anti-cheat, was sending lots of alerts that Dolly was using a hack called Velocity, which makes you take less knockback. So, a staff member teleported to him and froze him to investigate. But instead of cooperating, Dolly didn't do jack shit for 2 minutes and just logged out, which was very suspicious, and he was banned on the spot. After the situation, one of the moderators, who also happened to be a YouTuber, made a video very decisively proving Dolly cheated, even going as far to interview the developer of the anti-cheat. This video got quite a lot of views, especially relative to how big Dolly was, and he was forced to respond. Okay, they're all in the damage control call. They're figuring out what the f they're doing. Dr. Donut!
The hot?
The entire server!
Dream?
Bro!
Mr. Beast?
Oh.
Oh. What?
How many people does it take to write a script, bro? But, the response was kind of ass.
I got banned on a small server called MCPVP because I showed up in logs and refused to screen share it when asked to.
That's not true.
When we freeze people, we don't ask people to screen share. We ask them to open a senior inquiry ticket.
And the truth is, I have used hacks in Minecraft. I have, however, not cheated in any of my uploaded videos, events, or other people's videos.
This also appears to be a lie. There's clips like this where he really seems to be hitting someone from farther than he should be able to, and these are taken from his own videos. This one specifically is of him fighting another YouTuber named Sharpness. Funny enough, Sharpness asked for Dolly's footage, and he said he lost it. So how did this bitch upload this video? Almost as if he didn't want Sharpness to see something in the uncut footage.
No other YouTubers have made videos about them using hacks from time to time as well, like I did. Only difference is that they did it for entertainment, while I did it behind closed doors and never decided to tell anyone about it.
This is actually the dumbest fucking point. He just randomly brought up that other YouTubers sometimes cheat in their videos for content, but they're honest about it. Okay? The second half of the video is him talking about death threats or whatever, which is obviously not okay. We all agree, bro. I don't necessarily want to blame Dolly for being manipulative because I'm not inside his head. It could have just been like a kind of poorly formulated apology. I don't know. The only case Dolly is 100% confirmed to have cheated is the one instance on MCPVP, but I think there's a solid chance he cheated against Sharpness and maybe a couple other instances as well. I don't know. I'm not a PvP expert, but it just looks weird. If you scroll down to the comments of this video though, there's another YouTuber talking about how he had a cheating scandal of his own. And it is so much worse. Rice Farmer 11 is a PvP YouTuber who is suddenly banned from Hypixel out of the blue. But maybe this shouldn't have come as such a surprise.
Rice is very clearly using hitboxes. Hitboxes allow you to hit a player when your crosshair isn't on them directly, but is located somewhat close.
Rice responded to this at the end of one of his videos.
If you didn't know, if you swing your sword over the player and flick off of them, visually, the hit looks like it registers later, client side.
But Blasolic doubled down. Then, out of the blue, Rice goes nuclear.
Close your eyes, you'll be here soon. Itchy knees are...
Not only has he been botting with a fake account for months and somehow trying to expose Hypixel doesn't care, I don't know, there's some whole plot line there. He's been doing it 9 other times. And to put the icing on the cake, he just admitted it. He just admitted all of it anyway. Anyway, now he has a startup, so that's fun. Hope it succeeds. Genuinely looks useful, like reposting shorts to other platforms. Damn, dude. But Rice wasn't the only Hypixel YouTuber to have a cheating scandal. He's not even the most famous. Luvenox absolutely blew up from his videos where he clutches against blatant hackers in Bed Wars. But one day, a video was posted by a channel called Hypixel SS. Hypixel SS, creator of such amazing videos as Dream is Actually Attractive.
It would be very disappointing if Luvenox's hacker clutches were all faked, right?
Right? Basically, he's arguing that this person, Reza, is friends with Luvenox and plays the hacker in all his videos. The evidence was honestly relatively weak.
Here's the account _C18_. It was used in his most viewed hacker clutch. We can see similarities such as the Ender Pro at the bottom right, and the Diamond Boots, and then Iron Boots combo, seen also on the accounts Reza and Felt Me.
But Luvenox, props to him, was honest about it. He made a tweet addressing all of it. Naturally, because he told his friend to cheat against him in public games of Bed Wars, he lost his YouTube rank. And for a while, that was the end of that. People kind of thought his life was ruined over his Minecraft cheating scandal and he was never coming back, never seeing the internet again. But like a year later, he made a really heartfelt apology.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Some of my hacker clutches were indeed fake.
He seems to be in a better place now. But there's actually another situation very similar to this, except with a YouTuber that is 10 times his size. Shotgun Raids was another Hypixel Bed Wars YouTuber at one point, and he was in Minecraft Monday with Technoblade back in the day. But one day, he started a random, kind of suspicious new series. The first video is him catching a streamer hacking on his Minecraft server, although weirdly, he doesn't take the chance to promote the server. Strange, but okay. The second episode has him catching another... That's the same person. In fact, the next 5 videos have the exact same cheater that he's catching. This guy's another YouTuber, and he's in every single thumbnail. Like, bro's not even trying to hide it. He doesn't even have a Minecraft server. The only indication that these are supposed to be real streamers is the last couple episodes have a static sub count. Not a chat, nothing. It's so transparently fake. You might as well just admit it. But to be fair, it's for entertainment, and it's not hurting anyone. I just thought it was silly. And it's faked for a good cause. How is he supposed to upload consistently without faking if he has a girlfriend? Me too, bro, but I still upload.
Hi.
You know who doesn't have a girlfriend? DeQuavius right from the start just made fake PvP clips where he imports famous YouTubers as NPCs and LARPs himself beating them in PvP. This sort of content isn't new, but he's definitely the most successful at it. Legit creators like Hannah Rose or whatever have to deal with people faking clips of them all the time. But one of the people DeQuavius was faking decided to respond.
Because you're so talented, I'd love to 1v1 you.
They beefed back and forth on YouTube Shorts for a while and eventually managed to asynchronously agree on terms for a duel. You've probably heard about this. In the lead up to the duel though, amidst videos like Dream is done for, it's over for Dream, Dream will lose, he posted a different video called Dream is cooked.
I know a lot of my content involves staging, but I'm still very good at the game. To prove this, I put together some of my best clips I recorded on actual servers.
Faked this too! Or at least he's fighting literal bots, if nothing else. This fucker had 15 seconds to place a water bucket on the cobwebs, and he chose not to so he could die to the TNT. I'm going a little extra hard against this guy because I really just don't like him. This is why.
Hello everyone, Technoblade here. If you're watching this, I am dead.
Like, bro. Anyway, here's someone much more wholesome. Beppo is your kind of average hardcore YouTuber with 1 million subscribers. But in one of his older videos...
Man, if only I had a machine that could break a 100 by 100 bedrock... Oh, look at that! I already spent 20 hours of my life building it. You're welcome.
This bedrock glitch doesn't exist. There's not a single bedrock breaking glitch on Earth that can clean cut an entire chunk of bedrock like that.
Pause at 246 and you'll see there's only 1 layer of bedrock to break. Very suspicious.
That's not how the nether roof works! So anyway, Beppo's innovative new glitch called /fill was comparable to inventions like fire in terms of its ingenuity and genius. But this story has a happy ending. I asked in his Discord about it, and he said this. I appreciate you saying something to me first, but honestly, that's not news. In the description, I say it's faked. I've already explained in the past that that's why I purposely died in that world, because I had some faked stuff. That's why I created the new hardcore series that isn't fake. So fair enough. Keep up the good work, Beppo. I mean, seriously, you've been killing it, dude. Preston Plays is a Christian Minecraft YouTuber who has a wife and also apparently killed her, who had a wife. Along with killing his wife, he also faked a bunch of world records.
See, they tried to beat a record set by my friend MinuteTech, fastest time to tame a horse, which they did by 10 seconds, but when I watched the video, I noticed they didn't tame the horse. When you tame it, you see hearts.
There's hundreds of other examples of this kind of thing. It's pretty cut and dry. I won't bore you. You can watch Jaren's video if you haven't already. But it's also for kids content, and it genuinely just does not matter. After Jaren posted his video explaining how Preston fakes his records, the words "Yeah, Jaren" were banned in his Discord server.
Okay, that's not fully true. After watching my video, this kid just sent a whole paragraph hating on them.
I'm sorry for all the Jaren clips, but to be fair, I'm literally just summarizing his videos, so I don't know what you want me to do. I have a personal history with this one. So, like a year and a half ago, I made a video called How Hardcore Minecraft Videos Became Fake, and I included this clip.
It's another time. Now, while I'm here... Oh, I spawned on another floor.
Why did he spawn so far from the portal? This guy's videos are irrationally funny to me. Okay, so at the start he says this.
I'm doing this in hardcore mode, meaning if I die, I lose all my progress and the challenge.
But then later on, this mysteriously happens.
Yo, this... Okay, please, bro. Please, bro. Please.
Now let me play that back a little bit slower.
Okay, please.
You can call it lag if you want, but he literally hearted a comment saying it's fake. And since that video, Rasplin has not responded. He blocked me on Twitter, and then he unblocked me again, and he also wildly coped at VidCon when I made a joke about it. I would message him to ask for his perspective, but I have to be verified because he set his DM setting that way. This is the least serious instance of cheating ever. It's just really funny. I don't normally get this close to making drama videos. I just find them lowbrow, unnecessary, and oftentimes genuinely harmful. This was meant as a super lighthearted video where I talk about really old cheating situations that do not matter. So, we've seen the trend of scripted and fake content across YouTube, but what about fake versions of Minecraft itself? This Minecraft knockoff has more downloads than Minecraft itself, and it rakes in $10 million a month. This game is called Blockman Go, and it didn't even start as a game. Back in 2015, it was just a way to join servers on Pocket Edition.
As you can see, there are a bunch of servers you can join.
Over time, however, it morphed into a standalone game. The issue is, it allegedly stole a bunch of Minecraft's assets. Just watch this absolutely brutal AI-generated exposed video and you'll understand the severity of the situation.
The diamond sword texture was actually taken from a texture pack called John Smith Legacy.
Here, let me just narrate it myself. The old lava texture was taken from Compliance, the fire textures from Faithful, and the wheat and water textures are from Pure BD Craft. So they clearly have a habit of stealing. And yet somehow, it has over 100 million downloads, more than double Minecraft on Android. So what's going on here? Well, obviously, it's free and Minecraft isn't, but there's a lot more to it than that. First off, one of the genuinely smart things they're doing is structuring their app like Roblox. They have an avatar shop and a list of games you can join with just one click. Now don't be fooled, these aren't made by users, they're just made to look like it for some reason. Only the top 2 games bother listing a developer at all, and every source online just says they're made by Blockman Go. But the app isn't limited to that. It also has very extensive chat functionality, which seems problematic when their players are as young as they are. The app also has tons of daily rewards, microtransactions, ads, and overall it just looks pretty predatory. Kind of reminds me of Temu. The gameplay itself is, I don't know, fine. I joined a game of Bed Wars and team wiped all 3 enemy teams on my phone because I was probably the oldest one there by like a decade. I'm just a Blockman goat, I guess. But taking into account the predatory and pay-to-win monetization, and this is according to ChatGPT, so take it with a grain of salt, a heavily monetized Android game with this many downloads likely makes $1 to $10 million a month. Insane! That is this easy to sell out, dude. I am shocked. But it doesn't stop there! If you go to their old website, there's a phone number. And when you search it on Google, it goes to a Chinese gambling operation! Holy crap! These are the people running Minecraft knockoffs. Well, not all of them. Because the last knockoff in this video was made by one guy and had some people saying it was better than Minecraft. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Overall, Blockman Go supposedly has a lot of stolen assets and their monetization is pretty predatory, but at least it has some semblance of being a legitimate video game. I mean, there's literally dedicated Blockman Go YouTubers. But what happens when Minecraft knockoff developers don't even try to hide it? In 2015, a game was listed on the App Store called Minecraft Pocket Edition 2. And even though this is like obviously fake, it made it to the App Store's top 10 paid games. Because yes, this app cost $11, making it a pretty straightforward scam. It took several weeks for it to be removed from the App Store, and it's a mystery why Apple even approved it in the first place. The game itself was literally this. But okay, when it's a scam like Minecraft Pocket Edition 2, I wouldn't blame someone for wondering how people would fall for that. I would never wonder that, you see, because I unconditionally support the victims of scams, but even I must begrudgingly admit that it's a valid question. So what about when the scam is much more subtle? This is a game called Blockbox Master Diamond, and this screenshot is from an article by the McAfee Threat Labs research team, so strap in! In 2023, an investigation found that this game and others like it contain a type of malware called hidden ads, where the app blasts the most obnoxious possible full-screen ads, then covers them up with the actual game, so the player doesn't even realize they're there. Now obviously this is fraud to the advertisers, but I'm sure they'll be fine. The thing is, it also affects the users. Anyone who plays games like this will find it's weirdly laggy, and they almost certainly sell your data to let the advertisers track you as much as they possibly can for max profit. Because there's constant, extremely intrusive ads technically on screen, it generates an enormous amount of ad revenue without the average user suspecting a thing. I actually got my hands on this app, and I did an antivirus scan to make sure it didn't have a straight up virus. Then I gave it a try to see how stolen it actually was.
I don't think this is a direct rip.
Okay, maybe it is. You know, maybe it is.
The world generally looks like Minecraft. I can even press shift to crouch, which is really weird that they would have thought to put in the effort.
The reason I say this is because most low effort mobile games do not support keyboard controls.
Like, it looks like just Minecraft with a texture pack.
This is either a modified version of Pocket Edition or it steals all of their assets. I don't know which is worse. Blockbox Master Diamond in particular had 10 million downloads before it was taken down, but it's part of a much larger network of identical games. Craft Sword Mini Fun, Blockbox Skyland Sword, Block Pro Forest Diamond. They all follow the same nonsensical naming convention, just picking 4 random words from a Minecraft word dataset, which leads me to think the process may even have somehow been automated. In total, McAfee's investigation found 38 of these on the Google Play Store, totaling 35 million downloads. Luckily though, they were quickly removed after they were reported, so that's good at least, but I wouldn't be surprised if the scammers found a way to circumvent it. That brings me to this next game, which, instead of circumventing regulations, decided to challenge them in court. For a long time, Minecraft was banned in China, like a lot of other everyday internet things we have in the West. But in 2015, a team of developers called Minovate saw this as an opportunity. They began to develop Mini World, which was blatantly made to clone Minecraft for Chinese players. The game launched on Windows and mobile devices across China, and it immediately caught on. By 2017, it had already escaped the Chinese market with a global release, and by 2018, it hit 200 million users and 50 million active players. This was already one of the most popular video games in all of China. In December of that year, Google Play even awarded it the most innovative game of 2018. Nailed it, Google! But unfortunately for Mini World, they were living on borrowed time. After Microsoft bought Minecraft, they partnered with a Chinese tech company to launch Minecraft China Edition. But soon after the launch, Microsoft found that this Minecraft China venture wasn't going to be as simple as they thought. The market for the Minecraft-esque games genre was already very saturated. Dozens of existing Minecraft clones crowded them out of the App Store rankings. And the most popular of them all? Mini World. Minecraft began throwing cease and desist at each of these knockoffs, and one by one, they shut down. All except for one. Mini World refused to budge. And understandably so. They'd built a massive community bigger than Minecraft China's was at the time, and it's not like it was a straight re-upload. This game took years to develop. Rumors even spread among its players that Minecraft copied Mini World. What? So, Mini World decided to ignore the cease and desist, which left Minecraft no other choice than to sue for $3 million. Long story short, Mini World lost the lawsuit, but they still thought they had a case. The grounds on which they lost were that Minecraft and Mini World were too visually similar, and let's be so for real, they really aren't. So they appealed the case to a higher court. And I'll check back on that later, because when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse for Mini World, they did. A video was posted to Bilibili, basically Chinese YouTube, showing the rampant presence of those nefarious types of evildoers, the ones that target children. Snapchat accounts were being solicited left and right, and in one case, a 5-year-old girl's mom caught her taking photos of herself sans garments for a stranger she met on this game. It was abundantly clear the moderation was like non-existent. Even inside the actual servers that any kid could join through the app, it was trivially easy to find adult content. It got so bad that the app was temporarily removed from stores for a rectification period. During this, Mini World publicly announced new moderation systems to hopefully address the problems. Their website even temporarily went offline. But eventually, the app went back up, and reports of this stuff seem to have died down. I can't find any since, so I'm glad that's mostly dealt with. But just when they finally made it past that disaster, the High Court announced their decision. Well, While the judge dismissed the visual similarity claim, Minecraft's lawyers pivoted to a totally different approach: the game design. Mini-World's gameplay was very similar to Minecraft. They cited a bunch of the internal names of items and blocks, some of which are literally identical to Minecraft. The most damning instance is that of redstone. Mini-World's redstone system is called Blue Energy, but in their internal files, it's literally just named redstone, which in the words of this Chinese legal document is hardly a coincidence. Mini-World was ordered to shut down until the infringing content was removed, publicly apologize, and pay Minecraft $7 million US. Despite these serious consequences, however, Mini-World still exists. You can even find it on Western app stores, but it's learned from its mistakes and managed to become its own game. So I figured, why not give it a try? The max age is 24.
Alright guys, we're gonna play Skibidi Prison. It feels just like a worse Roblox. What the fuck am I looking at? Why are there Skibidi toilets? Oh, I did click on that, didn't I? I'm gonna create a world. I mean, I think I can see myself being a Chinese youth and enjoying this game. What is this? What the fuck are you? Oh shit. It's a creeper.
Even if Mini-World is a bit more unique nowadays, it absolutely started as a copy. So what happens when it's not so cut and dry? Fortresscraft was inspired by a thread on the Minecraft forum. Some random person claimed that a Minecraft-style game would be impossible to make on the Xbox 360. And Fortresscraft's developer, Adam Sawkins, took that as a challenge. Fortresscraft was released in 2011, and despite being genuinely similar, it beat Minecraft to the Xbox 360 market. This made it an instant success, 35,000 purchases in the first 2 days, and within the first year, 750,000.
There's going to be a pulley system, there's going to be all kinds of machinery added to this world of blocks.
Fortresscraft's gameplay was also much more focused on creative mode than Minecraft's was.
Oh, I'm in. Oh, this is like nice looking. I've just placed water. What did I just do? I filled the entire room. This is like old Minecraft water. I can, I guess, see how I would enjoy building in this place if I was really into building. But wow, this feels like the back rooms. How do I leave? Oh. What is going on my screen? I wasn't supposed to do that, I guess. Despite Fortresscraft's bigger focus on creative mode, the creator of Minecraft, Notch, called it an
obvious attempt to just take something popular and clone it as closely as possible.
But Adam fired back. There's nothing that Fortresscraft shares with Minecraft that it doesn't also share with Infiniminer, which predates Minecraft. Fortresscraft had more detailed visuals, and it also basically had built-in world edit. Adam called it a Vox game kicking and screaming into the modern shader-driven era, which has got to be the nerdiest comeback I've ever heard. He also kept calling people criticizing Fortresscraft the Notch Defense Force. I think he has a point. Just because a game has blocks doesn't immediately make it copyright infringement. It seems like a case of inspiration, not theft. But there's one final Minecraft knockoff in this video. A knockoff that's both extremely blatant and, I would argue, 100% justified. Survivalcraft was developed by one dude, mostly for fun, but also to bond with his son, who was the game's first and only playtester. It was released in 2011 for the Windows Phone, since there weren't any other Minecraft clones there. Wonder why? While it was obviously heavily inspired by Minecraft and kind of transparently cloning it, Survivalcraft focused more on the challenging survival gameplay. Like, it's even got a thirst meter.
Oh, there's birds and shit. That's cool. Okay, well, let me go punch a tree. See if I can. I want to see if I can like make a crafting table. It is like so blatantly just Minecraft, but like, I don't know. It's like well made-ish. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, Buster. Oh my god. Shit, dude, the cows fight back in this.
And while its reviews were mixed, a lot of critics even argued it was better than Minecraft itself. In many ways, it really did expand on the ideas Minecraft pioneered. And despite costing money up front to install, it became one of the most downloaded games on the Windows Phone and even the iPad when it was eventually released there. It also doesn't have any in-app purchases. What was its singular developer gonna do with the money anyway? He already made plenty without microtransactions. The developer also released a sequel in 2016, which added the ability to make your own custom blocks. Overall, the game still has a fairly active community who sees it as something genuinely unique. And while the similarities are obvious, I'd still consider it a Minecraft clone. Who really cares? This stolen version of the actual Minecraft Bedrock Edition has more downloads than Minecraft itself. At first glance, crafting and building looks like just another cheap Minecraft knockoff, but it's literally just Minecraft with a texture pack. You can even sign in and join official servers like The Hive. The app relies on extremely invasive 30-second unskippable ads to make money, and instead of the official Bedrock Marketplace, they offer stolen Marketplace skin packs for free. That's literally it. Everything else is 100% identical. And yet somehow, this app has over 100 million downloads. More than double Minecraft on Android. Now, obviously, literally just the only reason is because it's free, right? But still, how does this app even exist? The Mr. Epic even made a video on it over a year ago, with over 1 million views, and somehow it still hasn't been taken down. Beyond the fact that the Google Play moderators are beyond negligent to let this get over 100 million downloads, the developers of the app did something else too. Notice how there's a Unity loading screen when the game launches? According to people who dug through the files, inside the app bundle there's 2 games. A fake Unity clone of Minecraft that Google reviewers see, and then the real, stolen Minecraft APK hidden inside. Once the app gets approved, they just push an update to silently switch to the stolen version. And it's not the only one. There are dozens of nearly identical clones using the same method, all pretending to be Minecraft. You can scroll through the Play Store and find entire pages of fake craft and block apps that are basically the same thing. And you might be thinking, Minecraft knockoffs couldn't possibly get any worse than this, right? Well, this next knockoff might genuinely have the worst Predator problem I've ever seen. I covered Blockman Go in my previous video, but just to recap, it started in 2015 as a simple app to join Minecraft Pocket Edition servers. But over time, it morphed into a standalone game, a free-to-play Minecraft alternative that somehow also has 100 million downloads. And it also apparently makes up to $10 million a month. The game looks and feels like a mix of Minecraft and Roblox. It's got an avatar shop, tons of microtransactions, and dozens of games. They're made to look like it, but those games are not made by players at all. If you look at the first 2, it shows a developer listed, it's just a made-up child profile picture, but then if you look at any of the other ones, it doesn't even bother listing one, and all the sources online just say it's made by Blockman Go. So, okay. But the deeper you look, the darker it gets. Take a wild guess at what this feature is used for. After I covered Blockman Go in my last video, someone reached out to me to tell me how much insane shit I missed. So we arranged an interview. He didn't want to speak, probably because he's a child, but that's okay, because the stuff he sent me was genuinely insane. So you can list yourself as an older brother looking for a younger sister and directly chat with people through this system. There's also seemingly unmoderated NSFW profiles and even full minigame servers just named X Room. One of the most disgusting games I've ever seen. And if you're a parent or older sibling, please get the kids in your family off this godforsaken app. It also has very extensive chat functionality, which seems problematic when their players are as young as they are. If only you knew. But not every Minecraft clone is straight up evil. Like in this next one, Minecraft is generated entirely by AI in real time. You probably remember this, it's called Oasis. I made a rushed short dunking on it at the time. The shitty AI Minecraft thing. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized it is technically a Minecraft clone, but only because it was the most convenient way to do a tech demo. And one of the things they demonstrated was that you can do things that are supposed to be impossible just by trying to do them over and over. More recently, they also added the ability to turn any image into a playable map, which is super interesting even if I don't see any practical use for it. Although I will say, the main dataset they source from does unethically train on YouTube videos, which I really do not like. But that dataset was created by OpenAI, not the people behind Oasis, and Oasis also doesn't make any money. So still not great, but oh well. But this next app is the most iconic Minecraft-inspired game ever made. And even though it started as a blatant copy, it was arguably the first to truly evolve beyond a knockoff. Pixel Gun 3D started back in 2013 when the developer noticed something missing in the mobile game market. Minecraft was huge, but it was mostly a sandbox game with a relatively young audience. And first-person shooters were also massive, but basically only on PC and consoles with a much older player base. So his mobile game idea was simple. What if Minecraft had guns? The first versions of Pixel Gun 3D had visuals ripped straight from Minecraft. They used gold ingots as currency. Over time though, Pixel Gun started finding its own identity. When Pixel Gun launched on mobile in May 2013, it barely hit 1,000 players in its first month. Then came update 1.2, the moment that added multiplayer. Overnight, the game exploded. From a few hundred daily players, it shot up to 10,000. And at its peak, 500,000 a day. Okay, I'm popping off. Why am I enjoying Pixel Gun 3D? I'm pissed. I'm 19 years old. Ooh! But with popularity skyrocketing, Pixel Gun 3D saw dollar signs. They switched from cosmetic microtransactions to a full pay-to-win model. The devs released new overpowered weapons almost weekly, and balance went completely out the window. This pissed off longtime fans, and especially on the Steam version, many of the early players quit. So much so that it actually struggles to hit 1,000 players anymore on Steam. Although this is just the Steam version, the mobile version is probably still fairly big, but its peak was still ages ago, and it's hard to say monetization didn't contribute to it falling off since. Still, Pixel Gun 3D is one of the most successful mobile shooters ever. It has 200 million downloads and reportedly earned even more in revenue. But what happens when instead of turning Minecraft into a shooter, you try to turn it into a horror game? Castle Miner Z is one of the oldest and most successful Minecraft-style games ever made. It launched in November 2011, right when Minecraft was still PC only and console players were desperate for something similar. It looked like Minecraft, played like Minecraft, but once again, had guns. The game leaned fully into survival horror. You still mined for resources and crafted bases. See what I did there? That was a good one! But you were constantly under attack. Although I gotta say, it really does not hold up in my opinion. Okay, so I can break that block. Oh, let's shoot at me! What? Yo! Yo! None of my bullets even hit it. They just went through him. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. What's up here? What is this? Okay, wait, I think I can actually break it. Oh, I got Diamond Knife. I wish there was some sort of tutorial or something in this loud game. I want to be able to shoot the dragon too. Bro, that one definitely hit. By 2012, Castle Miner Z became the best-selling game in the entire Xbox Live indie games catalog, hitting over 1 million sales faster than any other title on the platform. It eventually reached 1.5 million copies, outselling competitors like Fortresscraft from my previous video. But not every clone tries to fill a gap. Some really are just lazy cash grabs, and the laziest of them all are on Roblox. Look what happens when you literally just point blank search for Minecraft. There is an entire page of Minecrafts. And those are just the ones that say Minecraft in the title. But for once, Mojang actually noticed. Over the past few years, they've been filing DMCA takedowns left and right. And for the most part, it works. Games go up for a few weeks, or occasionally months, then get taken down. But the problem is, they just keep coming back. And if you play a bunch of these games, you'll quickly notice they're genuinely identical. Someone has a template and they just copy paste it whenever one gets taken down. Oh my god!
Wait, it's actually just Minecraft.
Shift works too. You can press shift to crouch.
I see you! Twin!
What's
Twin!
up? We're Minecraft!
Wait, oh my gosh. Wait, this is so peak. Wait, open the shop. There's a literal shop.
Bro!
Wait, 4,000 Robux. Should I buy a diamond sword?
No, get
Wait,
a lucky
it
block.
costs
Get a lucky
99.
block, bro.
It costs 200 Robux? Oh, I see you. Okay, we got the lucky block. Here we go.
That was the most
Bro.
pathetic 200 Robux I've ever seen in my life. MC
Whoa.
Games Studios.
Wait, this is actually impressive.
What? What? I'm hopping on multiplayer.
This is kind of like the other one.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, this is actually hilarious. The games are like super interlinked. So press E, yeah, press E, and then you can press that button and we'll just go to the first thing.
Wait, no, this is a different thing. This is an entirely different one too. This is just, it's all like a bunch of assets. It's a bunch of freaking assets. Bro, who made this? This is exactly what it looks like. They link to another Minecraft clone, so when one gets taken down, they already have a player base in the new one. I really feel like Roblox would benefit from actual human review, because it shouldn't be Minecraft's responsibility to proactively hunt these down and file complaints. Not a single one of these games make their own textures, and they're all about as close to Minecraft as you can get within the Roblox game engine. But this next clone is a different story entirely. When Cube Life Island Survival launched, it blew up. It's another case of beating Mojang to the console market. It hit #1 on the European Nintendo eShop, #2 in the US, and #3 in Japan. And even when Minecraft finally dropped on the Wii U that year, Cube Life stayed popular, partly because it only cost a fraction of the price. Ooh, I'm in. What the f-
Where am I? Something as soon as possible.
Oh my god. Oh my f***ing god, shut up.
open the
Stop
survival
talking.
guide.
Bro, I actually just don't even want to play this game. I'm gonna be honest, I only wanted to talk about this because the voice acting is funny. The main similarity is just that it has blocks, and the world isn't even randomly generated. But while Cube Life was kinda successful, the next game takes it to the extreme. People were even calling it the Minecraft killer. Until everything changed in an instant. It's also named pretty much identically, so try to keep up. Cube World's development began in 2011, created by a developer named Wale and his wife Sarah. At first glance, it kinda looked like Minecraft, but that's about the only similarity. It was a full-blown RPG. Notch himself apparently even noticed it and tried to hire him. But that didn't work out, so he just ended up helping him with tech issues. But Notch was seriously onto something. When the alpha dropped in 2013 for 20 bucks, it exploded. Millions of views, glowing reviews, endless hype. All the Minecraft YouTubers were playing it too. It was the indie dream come true. Until it all fell apart. The launch was hit with DDoS attacks that crashed the servers completely. Boulay later said this experience traumatized him. He completely stopped communicating for months, then years. The game eventually went off sale entirely. Everyone was convinced it would never return. Then suddenly, in 2019, it did. Boulay announced the official Steam release, rebuilt from scratch. Everyone thought this was going to be the greatest comeback of the year. It wasn't. So I spent $20 to figure out why. Like, it's bad. It has worse reviews than this $200 game that came up in results next to it.
This doesn't seem like I should break a tree, because it doesn't do anything. So it seems like it's just like I go over to these enemies and I hit them, or whatever these guys are. And I'm dead. Oh, okay. This game really just needs a tutorial. Yeah, but it does feel like this has hella potential. It doesn't feel like a Minecraft clone. It just has blocks, which is fine.
I don't think I did a very good job figuring out how to play it. Let's listen to what other people said. I wasn't around for the alpha, but people say it gutted everything that made it special. I see people complaining that the progression was replaced by this weird region lock system that made your gear useless if you traveled too far. Combat felt shallow, exploration felt pointless. But I will say, the Steam version does have a dedicated small player base, and the expectations seemed unrealistically high. So I'm not going to play the game for 5 hours to figure out who's right. It's not really what this video is about, but the fact remains, the majority of people were furious. Within weeks, Boulay vanished completely again. Cube World went from the most promising indie RPG of its time to one of the most infamous disappointments in gaming history. But Boulay wasn't done. In 2023, he quietly announced a new project, Cube World Omega, meant to recapture the old alpha spirit. The issue is, comments are off and people are kind of worried it's just going to be the same thing all over again. So we'll see, but I really do respect the attempt. While Cube World crumbled under the weight of its own expectations, another project was quietly doing the opposite, slowly building momentum and growing a community over the span of years. Mindtest. Luanti, or as most people remember it, Mindtest, started back in 2010 when the developer wanted to see how Minecraft worked under the hood. He built a voxel sandbox that functioned almost identically. But over time, it evolved from just a copy of Minecraft to a game engine for creating voxel-based games that are like it. And so the name was changed to reflect that. It doesn't even ship with playable content anymore. But still, I wanted to try one of the most popular little playable things that you can download for it. I don't know if I can really see anyone just like playing this for leisure. Maybe you can, but it's rough around the edges and it kind of feels like you'd mostly just play it as like a tech demo. It's interesting. That's the only way I know how to describe it. What makes it stand out is its philosophy. It's free, it's open source, and it's moddable down to its core. And I've seen a lot of people praise it for being one of the most accessible ways to learn game development. While it's obviously inspired by Minecraft, it doesn't take any of their assets and it's not really competing with it, so Mojang doesn't care. So, we've seen fake YouTubers, fake versions of Minecraft, but what about the biggest fake myth in Minecraft history? Minecraft sure feels like a kid's game, with their merch, kids content, their lines at any real-life event, so I wouldn't blame you for being shocked that the average age of a Minecraft player is 28. Yeah, it's fucking insane. During an interview, Helen Chang, the head of Minecraft, said this.
People are surprised sometimes that the average age of our players is 24.
That was 5 years ago, so the players who've stuck around have also grown up. But if there's supposedly so many geriatric players, where on earth are they? Well, a lot of them are in single player. It's the first button you see when you open the game, and most people don't give it a second thought. But even the older players who do give it a second thought actually also find they prefer it. In fact, older players in general statistically prefer single player across the gaming industry. You don't need to worry about keeping up with other people, so you can commit as much or as little time as you want, which is very convenient when you have like 3 diapers to change. Single player Minecraft specifically also serves as a bit of a creative outlet. People can unwind after a long day of work by building dicks. Most servers, on the other hand, are designed to be addictive rather than fun, and the player base you'll be interacting with is basically all children.
Hey, does anyone have any spare bamboo?
Skibbity! Lol. So is that it? Are all the boomers just in single player? No. Take Hermitcraft for example, which if you're a longtime viewer of my dumb ass, you'll know I've never really been into. But it's the most popular private YouTuber SMP. Many of their members are in their 30s and 40s, and until his passing, this guy Tinfoil Chef was literally 63. So what's the appeal of Minecraft for someone like him? Whether it's...
I've made this giant number storage from a redstone graphing calculator.
Graphing calculators are exploring in peaceful mode, like a Minecraft is popular because of how many ways you can play it. So naturally, communities form around these shared interests. What are like the major communities in Minecraft?
Maybe you should try to answer the questions that you wrote down, and maybe then you can find your answer.
I'm sorry. So let's start with like the easy ones. There's Hypixel, there's SMP.
Yeah.
There's like Redstone.
Builders.
What about like coding, like modding?
PvP.
Oh, PvP, that's banger.
Wombo combo type thing, you know, like do like a montage like Fiend.
Hey Div, have you ever heard anything about those videos?
No, I've never heard anything about those. I'm really unfamiliar with them.
I mean, there's definitely Bedrock Edition too.
Oh yeah, check Bedrock Edition.
Any numbers of Java versus Bedrock's player count, and
I'm surprised that's not something that's been documented.
Like, everyone seems to agree there's more on Bedrock, but like, what's that based on? So it turns out it's really hard to figure out what communities 160 million people are a part of. But there's niche communities for pretty much every part of the game, with people of every age in them. And it's awesome. The thing is, Minecraft's community hasn't always been like this. In the past, it arguably was a kid's game. Okay, well, in the very beginning, it was other indie game developers. And as YouTubers started to make videos on Minecraft, that's mostly the audience they catered to.
I'm telling you right now, I think we're
But then, Minecraft started marketing to kids. I mean, their first merch line was literally kids' toys. So, YouTubers adapted.
I noticed lots of young people were watching, so I immediately stopped all inappropriate language and playing any adult-themed games.
And this began what I very subjectively call the golden age of Minecraft YouTube.
Hey, how's it going? I've actually got something for you. This is the bread that you asked me to get, and you can now go make me a sandwich.
No! Minecraft's popularity skyrocketed to new heights, almost entirely carried by children. Interestingly, of those children, 32% of boys watched Minecraft videos, but only 9% of girls. I love sexism! This is according to one study in Melbourne, so take it with a grain of Vegemite. But Minecraft, seeing how effective marketing to kids was for them, has been doing it ever since. And while this does bring in a lot of new kids to their community, kids don't stay kids forever. The youngest of that first wave are finishing college right now. I got in a bit later than that, but I'm 18 and I'm making videos of my own. Some losers do drift away as they get older, but that still leaves a decently large audience of older players who still want to watch Minecraft content. But like, why? Like, doesn't it get boring? Okay, let's go back to the idea of communities, because clearly you don't understand it. No matter which you're a part of, they all tend to follow a similar pattern. I'm not gonna draw an eye in the middle, that wouldn't be funny. So this is like, bought the game fairly recently. Wow, this is a really, like, insightful drawing I did there.
So I think at the tippy top, it's gonna be content creators and shit like that, server owners. Then the people below, I feel as it would be like content creators, right? And then the people that ingest the creators' content, it's like, I mean, dedicated in like the community. And if you're dedicated to the community, there might be stands that are dedicated, and there might be people that buy stuff on the servers.
Wow, I'm really, dude. Okay. Time played goes down as like this goes up. To explain this better, let's take Redstone for example. At first you'll be scratching your head and trying to figure out how to use a comparator, and then you might check a few tutorials, and as you play for longer, your skills will get better and you'll get more invested. Later on, you may get good enough to invent a redstone machine no one has come up with. You can't really go full time here, but with many of these paths, you can. See what I'm getting at? There's always something deeper to explore. But if every player found the game as a kid, that doesn't explain this. So I found this Reddit thread when I was like looking for things earlier. All the replies are like, I'm 70 and it's
what? Oh, wait.
This person's 40. They've been playing since 2013. There's a 73.
What?
Dude, I wish 70-year-olds made content on YouTube. I would.
I think her grandson mods for the stream and like helps her set everything up.
Aw. She probably has a default skin. I'm telling you.
Oh, she has a what the Well, yes, most people did start playing as kids. It's not everyone. The game's huge. Most adults have at least heard of it, and it's not hard to imagine they'd also be interested in playing it. There's also parents. Some obviously just play with their kid, but other parents might start out that way and genuinely get into it. Minecraft also just serves as a fun way to hang out with friends, sort of like Jackbox or something. I mean, there's literally a whole subreddit dedicated to finding people to play on the server with. I will say though, most of these older players don't watch as much Minecraft on YouTube. If they do, usually they just stick to Hermitcraft in my experience. It's easy to find, the people are likable, and there's enough content that you never really need to look elsewhere. I think it's just that they didn't grow up watching videos, so it's not as natural. The majority of Minecraft's older player base instead congregates on Reddit. Why can I not click it?
Why is this? Oh, there.
Okay,
It
top 33,000. That's fair to say that's the amount of like active in a month, right? Maybe like 50K. Okay, but there's also like so many other Minecraft subreddits.
though.
There's Minecraft memes.
There's like competitive Minecraft, admin craft, Feed the Beast is for modded. Oh, awesome!
Oh my god.
Let's turn safe search on.
Can we go on the Jenny mod?
Honestly, we would be kind of missing out if we didn't count it.
Yeah.
No, we're not considering that as a community.
Minecraft builds has people. I mean, a lot of them just like seeing cool stuff. Oh, alpha players. Interesting to see that the like two biggest YouTuber ones to come up, or besides PewDiePie, are Mindcrack and Yogscast, which are like the oldest Minecraft channels. So if there's this many older players, why does Minecraft still feel like such a kid's game? Minecraft obviously feels like a kid's game because they advertise to kids, so that's part of it. And because kids have so much more time to watch YouTube, videos geared to them usually get more views. But I think it goes deeper than that. Go back and actually watch like an old popular MMOs video.
I'm gonna throw out an example, but I'm afraid if I say it, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna say one that probably won't happen.
All right.
Little Kelly versus Ant Venom.
They're genuinely mostly being themselves, and it's not hard to see how you would have enjoyed it as a kid. Modern kids content, on the other hand?
Today, Lankybox dies and gets turned into a ghost in Minecraft. Oh no! Foxy's turning into a
Glock in my Rari. Only a kid could watch this. It feels alienating, but I think I know why this has happened. Over time, YouTube's focus as a platform has shifted from channels you've subscribed to showing you videos you might algorithmically be interested in. As a result, audiences are much less dedicated, and trying to build a loyal fan base is an uphill battle. So instead of doing that, most people just make videos as close as possible to what they've seen work for someone else.
That's right. I'm a dirty, dirty dog. And I am willing to do whatever it takes to get all 1 million.
I'm guilty of this too. We're all afraid to show more personality in case it hurts our views. It's a baseless fear, like make something you don't want to watch and other people probably will too, but it's hard to get it out of your head entirely. The content impacted most by this is arguably Minecraft Kids content, where pretty much everyone is just in it for money. The RPM, which is basically how much money you make per 1,000 views, is some of the highest in all of gaming content. And nothing exemplifies these algorithmic changes better than the Minecraft butt trend. The video that kicked it off was created by Wilbur the Nibbler Soot, as with most trends for some reason. At least he's prolific. SkyBoi then made a similar video, which was closely followed by Dream. And with each iteration, a little bit of personality was exchanged for a more optimized video. All things considered though, these three all still felt like they had a soul. And then Mr. Beast hopped on, and it all went to shit. His video was optimized to the extreme and sparked a massive wave of copycats trying to replicate his success, each time showing less and less of their own personality. The audience skewed younger and younger as the content became less and less authentic, and the initial audience lost interest. Eventually, the views mirrored this too. Turns out even children only have so much tolerance for it. Basically, someone passionate made something cool, a bunch of people copied it for money, and the trend killed itself. This wouldn't have happened anywhere near as quickly if people weren't so afraid to be themselves. Compare that to like a decade ago when DanTDM could get away with making the same type of video for like 5 years straight. By the way, I may sound harsh, but I don't blame like ex-Nestorio. Even if it feels kind of inauthentic, he's still going above and beyond with a lot of this. None of these channels are hurting anyone. Shit, I don't even blame Mr. Beast. Even though people sometimes call this Mr. Beastification, that implies it's his fault when it's really more of a platform change. So I think a big reason Minecraft feels like such a kid's game is the way content is right now, but it's not representative of everyone. Players of pretty much any age can sit down and enjoy it. The core player base isn't even entirely kids either, especially if you know where to look. It sucks that Minecraft has such a reputation of being a game for kids, because looking at the numbers, it isn't. But who gives a shit? Like, why does it fucking matter what video game you play? It's like guilty by association. Oh, you play a kid's game, you must also be a kid. Like, no, there's other reasons you might want to play it. It's honestly stupid how our culture puts so much emphasis on these stereotypes like Pick Me Girl or Minecraft player. We are each completely unique collections of traits and interests that aren't impacted by whether or not we play a video game. Moral of the story is be yourself. If you enjoyed this video, you'd probably enjoy my other video on screen. It's another long compilation about Minecraft YouTubers, including one who literally climbed Mount Everest. And remember to subscribe. Have a great rest of your day.